Okay, I'm going to do a coaching on Der Helle Rache from Mozart's Die Zauberflöte. Before you begin, y'all, pace yourselves, don't get carried away on the first day, yeah, pace yourself, alright. I'm gonna go with Natalie to say on this one. Before we begin, I'm just gonna let you know I never really feel like doing this piece personally. There's no real payoff on the bottom notes, and the bottom note it does get low. But whatever. But for a lot of these beginning, especially in the beginning where it's like you're really in the lower middle of the voice, you have to remember Die Zauberflöte is a Singspiel, so these notes, not only can you think of them in as playing like Mozart, but also that they're spoken word things. That it's more about communication, so you don't really have to vibrate on too many if you don't feel like it, and that's especially good right at the beginning here, because you're going to want to pace yourself. Okay.
Und ihn, den Sonnenkreis der Allmacht entreißen. Aber du musst einfach!
I'm going to stop right there. A lot of these, you just throw them away. They're just throwaway notes. So. Just throw them away. You don't have to give too much emphasis to them at all. What I really want you to be thinking about here is just, getting to the note gently. And with each breath that you're breathing in, get a relaxation into all this. Release all this. Don't keep holding the tension for any reason. Let it go. Breathe into it. And then you're ready to go again. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, what Natalie Say does here for her staccati is very interesting. She's not doing these separated staccati. They are connected, but this is more of a Mozartian staccati. Where it's like you're ringing a little bell on each one. There's a mood to it, but there's not this. There is a connection, but there isn't. You just kind of, if you'll hear the difference, this will be easier for you. If you like how she does her staccato, others have different moods, and you'll be able to find that sort of same thing with your listening style. All right. You want to go? You want to do this together again? Okay, here it. All right. So you've done it. Now, on these high notes and things, what you're going to want to have is good breath support, right? So, you're really supported down low anyway. Your glutes are, they're a bit flexed, so it's just stretching up, relaxedly from a solid foundation. And then when you breathe in, your diaphragm goes down, your rib cage expands, and then you just continue that expansion on your whistling. You just continue that. And that's called appoggio in singing. As you practice it in a nice way. Go practice it in your yoga, in your Pilates. Just make sure you're always feeling easy and comfortable. This next section, F, 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 octave jump, G, 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 octave jump, G. Okay, this is where you take a break. Here's another break for yourself. You're pacing yourself again, because here comes the triplet, here comes, and more staccato. I love Natalie to say, yeah, those triplets, I fumbled. A couple of those, a couple of them I did fumble. Everybody's tempo is different. I prefer a slightly faster tempo than this, but anyway, and you can figure out how to count those. I like to do or you can go but you want to and that'll be real good. Or I'm sorry about the last one, but once you start practicing this, you're going to feel how your tongue's just going to go. You're going to feel the sensation. Your tongue just goes up a little for the next. Okay, here it is for the note. It goes up a little. Then it goes it goes right back to the note. Then it goes to another one, up a little, one again, another note, one, up a little, back down. You're going to find this pattern in your tongue so that you're like, oh yeah, here are the triplets. You'll feel that. For the second staccato section, you only have D at the top here, so you're not really having to focus so much on, do I have to get F? I have to get every F, 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 F. Now these are the D's. You don't want to miss those D's. All right. On this D, I would transition up. I would transition beyond the passaggio into the upper register. And that's just a different placement for the higher register. Go ahead and do that. What I like to do is skip back. I like to skip back and forth from the higher back down to, the middle and upper middle and whatnot. And then once you're done with those, with the staccato, basically you're home free, and that's where you really want to like drive it home with the message of the aria. That's what the character's saying. And what the character's saying is, it's some drama about a guy on account of something, blah blah blah, and you better do it. And the daughter's like, I've got this whole thing going on with this guy. And the mother's like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, back to you doing this thing with this guy. So, and that's when you want to get real dramatic, and so on and so forth. So, you want to pace yourself. You want to find these places in the aria where you pace yourself. And then you've got these sections where, because you have good technique and you pace yourself, you're ready for the more challenging, higher staccato sections. And then you get to pace yourself again. Find the groove in your triplet section, more staccato, and then drive it on home at the end, because you're home free after that, those last staccato notes. Alright, but I'm going to repeat again. Don't put 3 hours into this on day one, Stay balanced, make sure you're feeling good. If it doesn't feel good, just relax everything and breathe into it. Hello. Relax and just wait till you want to go again when you feel good.